Welcome everyone. I'm here to speak about VMware Skyline, which is going to radically transform the customer support that VMware provides. So what is it about, right? Skyline is all about issue avoidance, faster time to resolution for support issues, personalized recommendations suited to your environment, and this comes free, no additional cost, right? Let's see how this all works, right? So Skyline is basically going to collect some information about your environment, and it's going to listen to ongoing changes in your setup. It's going to analyze that data based on the VMware Analytics Cloud, and it's going to give you some recommendations based on that data collected. So this is going to work again. So all you need to have is a My VMware account, which comes with your active support subscription. So if you are a production support or premier service premier support customer, this comes at no additional cost. So as a customer, you would basically install Skyline, which is an appliance called as collector, and the collector is the one that is going to collect data, which is going to help you in the proactive support. On the VMware side, we have a data analytics platform, which is going to use the incoming data for scoping and giving information about the analytics, right? Let's talk a bit about the robust analytics engine. It's basically a living organism. It's an ever-growing library of knowledge, and it has the intelligence and logic built in to understand what this data is about, and how to use that product usage data to prevent issues happening in the customer environment. Where it helps also is in timely analysis of the issues. So basically, when you log a ticket, it's gonna take a long time for the engineer to understand the issue. He may need to collect logs and assess that in-house. It's gonna take a long time in a reactive based support approach. Skyline is proactive, right? It already has a lot of your information at the back end, so it's gonna give you timely resolution to the issues. Basically, it minimizes the delay and expedites analysis for faster resolution. It uses multiple analytics techniques. It has a rule-based decision tree, which is an AI engine, which is based on the wealth that VMware has aggregated over all these years using KBs, product documentation, bugs, etc., etc. It also has a data science team, which is basically pulling inputs from social media, which is basically called as crowdsourced inputs. Let's see an example of a customer who installed Skyline and realized its true value. So everyone knows or heard about Amway, which is one of the VMware's biggest customers. Amway installed Skyline using their premier services support, which basically identified a networking issue which prevented almost 1,000 VMs going out of network. So they were really vocal about that particular issue, helping them avoid a potential problem which was a risk to their business. There are some new features that we added to Skyline. The most important one is the Skyline Advisor. So this is basically where you can see all the reports and the analytics and recommendations specific to your environment. So it's basically a self-service portal, and you can see all the issues, your inventory, and the recommendations. Advisor also has all your account details, like how many collectors have you installed, basically how many Skyline instances running in your environment. It also lists the inventory, like how many hosts, how many virtual machines, and it also has the information about the analytics dates which were performed on your environment. It also lists the proactive findings. It displays by cards or lists. And it also has an OSR library. OSR is nothing but a operational summary report, which talks about what are the key issues that Skyline identified, and also this is available for Premier Service customers specifically. It also has an archive of the OSR reports which were generated in the past. So if you want to go back in time and look at, hey, what happened in April or May, we should be able to do that through the OSR library. There's also a new feature which is called the VMware Skyline Log Assist. This is the most requested feature ever since Skyline went live early this year. Basically, this eliminates a major pain point for customers, which is uploading logs. So many customers have reported that it takes longer time to upload the logs and it's huge and etc. etc. When an issue is identified, Skyline Log Assist can automatically upload a log file to the tech support, and it creates an SR automatically. So basically, it reduces time for the engineer to review the logs because the wait time to the logs is reduced. And this new feature is included with Skyline as a value add in the latest versions. So let's see how the proactive support with Skyline is going to help a potential customer. So Skyline does two things. It also it does reactive break fix as well as it does a proactive approach. Reactive break fix is if an issue suddenly happened in your environment, you basically get the information what recently changed in the environment, and then the engineer can potentially quickly identify the issue and solve the problem. In a proactive approach, it keeps track of all the events, trends happening in your environment, and it can predict that, okay, for example, there's a performance deterioration on your storage. This is going up and high and high over the last few weeks or days, and it can tell you there's a potential problem that we are seeing with the storage and recommend that as a proactive approach, which as a customer you would then take action to solve the problem. It improves stability and reliability because it matches the VMware advertised best practices and design guidelines, which will optimize the overall performance. Of course, when an appliance collects some data from the customer environment, it will be of concern for some of the customer security teams. So the privacy and security team in the customer environment will have questions about, okay, is this data compliant? What data are you collecting, etc. So let's take a look at what Skyline collects. So it collects most, but not all the data that captured in the VMware product logs. So for example, it does not capture logs consistently or always. Skyline uses secure protocols to transmit this data back to the VMware cloud, and it uses an encrypted channel to transmit this data so that it's not visible to to third parties. An example of what Skyline collects, currently we have support for vSender, NSX Manager, and vSAN. So it collects the inventory data, the configuration data, and the status information. It also collects VM names, IP, and host names. Also the sizing, for example, how many CPUs, how much memory, and the configuration, for example, what is the virtual hardware version, etc. etc. Examples of what Skyline does not collect, you have, we don't collect in-guest workload details. For example, if a VM is running SQL Server, we don't detect that it does run SQL Server, and we don't collect those data. We don't also collect any ACL, access control list, or distributed firewall rules that are created by NSX on the host. Also, we don't collect some low-level details found in the VMware product logs, which is specific to the application, the product. So what's the additional value and expertise that VMware Skyline provides? First thing which is key is it comes at no additional cost to the customer. Production and Premier Services customers already who have a subscription can receive this at no extra cost. Product expertise, this is completely based on VMware's expertise over the last 20 years, and it is going to be a real value add for the customer. The current VMware solutions that we support are vSphere, NSX, and vSAN. and we are planning to add more products like vRealize suite in the near future. So that's on the roadmap. So that's about VMware Skyline. So if you are a Premier Services customer, you can reach out to your support account manager or your Premier Services engineer. And if you are a production support customer, you can visit the Skyline web page on VMware website, and you can have more details from there. Thank you.